What's going on, everybody? Goofy Rexy here, and hope everybody is doing well. And wanted to make a video and talk about Patch, right? So Patch is supposed to be going live today, so we're going to be getting some more details. We know about the characters that are already coming to Marvel Strike Force. We know about Young Avengers. We know now, based on the Envoy videos from yesterday, that we're also going to be getting the Dark Hunter team, which, by the way, a little weird that they're called the Dark Hunter team, right? We thought, based on the rumors, that we'll be getting a Midnight Suns team, but this is a Dark Hunter team. I've never heard of Dark Hunter before, but here we are with these characters. Brother Voodoo or Dr. Voodoo looks really cool. So does Morbius, but we're going to be getting some Young Avenger characters first. But wanted to talk about sort of Patch priorities, right? Like, what should you focus on in terms of characters here? Based on where you are in the game, I think who will benefit the most out of these new characters that are coming to the game. And the reason why I wanted to talk about this, because since the videos yesterday, I've heard a lot of players talk about the fact that I feel like this is largely a skippable patch, right? It's because we're getting a war defense team and then we're getting a war offense team. And I do understand the sentiment where that is concerned, because if you are in a position right now in the game where you're maybe not done with your raid team yet, or you're still working on Dark Dimension, or you're still working on your arena team, then you probably don't really want to work on another war offense team, unless you don't have a reliable counter to Heroes for Hire because you don't have Omega Red yet. Maybe your Infinity Watch team is not built up quite yet to be able to do so. Then the Dark Hunter team definitely will provide some solid value for you. We are going to have to see, though, how Morbius, how Dr. Voodoo, how those characters do get released into the game in order for you to be able to make the decision as to whether or not that team is realistically going to be viable for you. Because I do think, and this is from developers now, they did mention that you're at least going to want to have your Dark Hunter team at least within 50,000 power level. Maybe you could probably do some higher punches, but at least I think at a max, maybe 80,000 power level, within 80,000 power level in order to be able to counter Heroes for Hire reliably. So that's something that is important. I do think as well that probably for even those higher tier alliances, that most likely what's going to end up happening here is that because those higher tier alliances are going to have Young Avengers, going to be facing Young Avengers on defense, that you're now going to have to figure out how are you going to be able to counter that Young Avengers team. And they're going to be very challenging on war defense, and you're going to want to try to figure out exactly how you're going to counter that team and then still be able to beat Heroes for Hire, right? So you're going to want to have those two teams as a backup, Infinity Watch and then Dark Hunter, to be able to counter Heroes for Hire, because I think that Weapon X is most likely going to be the team that players are going to try to use against this Young Avengers team, because I do think that because of trauma is incredibly important right now in Marvel Strike Force, and being able to land ability block trauma maybe on a character like an important character, because with this Young Avengers team, the way that they're currently set up, with when Kid Bishop has those charges, she's going to be given that ability energy to Squirrel Girl. Squirrel Girl is going to be able to have that special ability, and she's going to keep on trying to clear those negative effects. So being able to have trauma there should give you the opportunity to get that leg up that you need against that Young Avengers team. But speaking of Young Avengers, speaking of Kate Bishop, I think she's probably the most important character in this patch, not because of how great she is per se, but because she does provide some sort of a value and an option. Maybe she's not the most important, but probably one of the most important characters in this patch, because she does have this tech tag, right? So if you're currently doing these Doom raids right now, you're doing probably Doom 2.1, even Doom 2.0, Doom 2.0, Doom 2.1, Doom 2.2. Most likely, you're probably looking for some solid tech option. Now, I do know that players are having some success using Doom, Kestrel, T'Challa, Shuri, and Lady Deathstrike right now. So I'm even seeing comps where players are not even using Dr. Octopus anymore. And I think that Kate Bishop will provide an insane amount of value for players who are going into those tech Doom raids, but specifically those tech Doom boss nodes, right? So the node against Doom, being able to use Lady Deathstrike to slow and control Doom, and then of course using Star-Lord to be able to steal that ability energy. Kate Bishop definitely provides a good amount of value here because of her ability to clear positive effects. She can also flip positive effects to negative effects. She can also blind with her ultimate ability as well. She can do this outside of war defense. It's a 3. She doesn't get this until turn 3. But if you're using her with Shuri, maybe Shuri can give her ability energy to get this up a little bit faster. But she can also apply blind, like I said, with this ultimate ability. So that can be incredibly important. Defense down, disrupted, offense down, and slow as well are a couple other negative effects that she can apply. So I do think that Kate Bishop will provide some value here for those Doom boss raid nodes. But any other character on that Young Avengers team, I'm gonna keep it real with you, you probably don't really need them, right? America Chavez, great rework, but largely just tailored towards war defense. Some players are concerned about that 25% speed bar and her being able to work with Eternals to make them faster. That is definitely a concern. The other portion of it, though, is that she's still just war defense. She's not going to be impactful or that impactful anywhere else. And really none of the other characters, even Echo, right? Echo does have that skill tag. Yeah, no, I don't think Echo is going to be as important either, because Echo is, her kit is usable outside of war defense, but I'm not seeing it yet where you're going to replace any character in these Tech Doom raids with Echo. I think largely everybody has that solved. Secret Avengers, Kestrel, and then it's either Shang-Chi, Zemo, Moondragon. Those are the characters that you're using there, and players are able to get through those skill nodes of fine by using those characters. So really nobody else on that team probably speaks out as a must use, but at the higher tier alliances, I do understand that there will be players that definitely will want to invest into this team because they want to be able to remain and stay competitive. Now, with the Dark Hunter team, I think this is where this probably holds a little bit more value. If you're a player that does not have Omega Red yet, if you're a player that does not have Adam Warlock, or your Adam Warlock Infinity Watch team is not built up quite high, and I do think that this Dark Hunter team is going to be incredibly important to you because you're still most likely facing Heroes for Hire, because Heroes for Hire was easy to get, right? That's just the reality of life. Heroes for Hire was kind of easy to get. Yes, Misty Knight was a blitz. Yes, Colleen was a blitz. Yes, Shang-Chi had an event, but the event was a favorable event. Players were able to get a lot of shards. He's also had a strike pass. He's now also in the blitz orb. Misty Knight was also in the blitz orb. She was also in the strike pass. She also is now a part of the blitz story. You can get her through the blitz orbs. Colleen Wing, a little bit more challenging to get because she's in arena, but she was a part, I believe, wasn't she not also a part of the strike pass as well? So those character shards have been largely easy to get. Players have built them up, and like I said, it depends on how reliably you're going to be able to get Morbius, how reliably are you going to be able to get Dr. Voodoo. But I do think that there is a lot of value here that you can get from this team, even if it's just war offense, because if you're facing Heroes for Hire, if you don't have those other counters available to you, then this team becomes incredibly valuable. And I don't think that they are that skippable at this point, because I think that you're going to need this in order to be able to counter them. Now, the one thing that I will say is that there's at least 1 or 2 characters from that team that I do think that you can get some value out of. So if you're looking at maybe I think Morbius, his kit is largely tied to war offense, being able to the heal blocks, the bleeds, the health steal. I mean, that you can do outside, but actually in reality too, attacking the primary target, flipping defense up to defense down, the flex, there are some abilities and skills that he does have available to him, but that trauma that he applies on his ultimate, that is not really usable outside of war. That's not usable outside of war offense, so you're not going to be able to get the value there. He still will get the piercing attack, he'll still gain the drain, but he won't be able to get that higher focus, and he won't be able to apply the blind on Spawn with his passive ability, because he does that on war offense. But yes, usable kit. But I think Dr. Voodoo provides some more value outside of that. So with the special ability, you have ability block and defense down, so that's valuable, right? Ability block is always good. Stopping a character from doing turn 1 or turn 2 what they can do, mind control and do additional damage. He has a health steal on his basic ability. He also has a health steal on his ultimate ability, although that will take some time because he doesn't get this until turn 4, so that could be problematic there if you're really relying on that ultimate. So he does have a usable kit. However, I don't really think that he's a character, because he's also a Mystic character. I don't think that you're going to be going out of your way to try to find a place for him, because the Mystic option, Mystic raid nodes are already solved, right? So if I were approaching this patch right now and I'm figuring out exactly what I want to work on, I gotta say it's going to be based on where you are in the game. Are you fine with your raids? Are you fine with arena? Are you fine with maybe Dark Dimension? If you haven't done Dark Dimension 4, or if you're looking to do Dark Dimension 5, you can probably pause on that, because you're not really going to get into that soon anyway. So you can get some of the resources that you need, but don't go overboard here. But where you probably should focus, if you are struggling in war right now because you're not beating heroes for hire, I would say maybe probably this is a team that you can look into that might be able to solve some of the problems that you have available to you right now. So that's pretty much basically where I'm at with this patch right now, where I'm at with these characters. I don't think that there's really any character that are ever skippable, right, in Marvel Strike Force, but I do think that there are some characters that maybe are slightly shelvable, but maybe that you don't need immediately right now. Maybe you can kind of reconsider whether or not you want to work on it. But listen, just wanted to kind of shed my light here on a few things. Curious to see what else is going to be released in today's patch. I'm hoping for some quality of life improvements. That's really what I hope for. Some teal gear, more availability for teal gear. That's something that I'm definitely looking forward to as well. So hopefully we're going to be getting some information where that is concerned. But listen, want to know what your guys' thoughts are in regards to this patch. What are the characters? What are you going to be doing with them? Are you going to be investing into them? Is there anyone, is war defense, war offense, does any of that entice you whatsoever? Just curious to see where you guys are, or where your guys' thoughts are on where that is concerned. But listen, until next time, if you guys like the video, of course, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Check out the links that are down below. Leave some comments as well. I always like to interact with you guys, because that's really important to me. So listen, appreciate you guys very much. Until next time, guys, y'all be blessed. Y'all be safe. Have a good one. Woo. Patch day.